long week of hard fighting, because no one could have named its end. The First Army broke through to the Roer River, and the plain opened out toward the Rhine, where hope lay that war, even this war, might end. The Siegfried Line campaign was a part of history, but was it a part, and perhaps, after all, the real part of war?
General Collins, the dash of long sweeping drives was conspicuously absent from this campaign, but that is what much of war is like, long periods of dogged, determined fighting.
Yes, that's correct. As a matter of fact, I think the Chief of Military History has put it very well in his foreword to your book, when he says that huge armies waged the campaign described in this book, but the individual soldier, pitting his courage and stamina against harsh elements, as well as a stubborn enemy, emerges as the moving spirit of these armies. As a matter of fact, no part of the fighting in Europe tested the American soldier quite like the Siegfried Campaign did, and the fighting in the Hurtgen Forest. The American soldier there proved that he could take some pretty hard knocks and still slug it out.
And I might say that if this story lacks a smashing climax, this is because the historian, unlike the novelist, is never the master of his material. Ordinarily, of course, the campaign would have continued with a big push across the Roer River to the Rhine.
Yes, but as a matter of fact, while we were slugging it out in the Hurtgen Forest, Hitler was planning a major counteroffensive to the south of us that he hoped would end the war. And there, about 25 miles south of Aachen, he hit a very thinly held part of our line, made a breakthrough there, and it led into what became known as the Battle of the Bulge.
This goes a long way toward explaining the fierce resistance put up by the Germans on the Ruhr Plain and in the Hurtgen Forest. Looking ahead to his counteroffensive, Hitler had ordered that no Allied soldier was to be allowed to set foot beyond the Ruhr River.
Yes, but fortunately, in the Battle of the Bulge, we used up all of the German reserves of men and material west of the Rhine River, and the attacks of the 1st and the 9th Armies through the Siegfried defenses prior to the Bulge had chewed up all the local reserves available, so that when we moved back north of the Bulge to renew our attack across the Ruhr River and the Cologne Plain, things moved along very rapidly. And we soon had Cologne, as a matter of fact, within 2 weeks, and we were firmly on the Rhine, and thereby had guaranteed the ultimate success of our war in Europe.